Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Coming up tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show, we're going to be talking about what could be a new tropical storm in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico that's going to impact parts of the west and central Gulf Coast and eventually perhaps the lower Mississippi Valley. Late summer weather all week long in the Northeast and mid Atlantic states, back to parts of the Great Lakes and at least the eastern half of the Ohio Valley. That's all tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast, and that's at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time. And as we check out satellite loops this morning, much of the nation enjoying rather quiet weather. Of course, the standout is what's going on in the western Gulf of Mexico. You see the clouds expanding and numerous thunderstorms around low pressure that is in the southwest Gulf, already getting 50-mile-an-hour winds on the west side of that low center offshore. This system will become a tropical storm. It will be named Francine when it achieves that either late today or early tonight. And this is the Hurricane Center forecast model, weather hurricane tracking model forecast, staying mostly offshore. So it's going to have probably about 72 hours to strengthen, and conditions are favorable for strengthening. So we think this has a good chance of even becoming a hurricane before it makes landfall somewhere along the Louisiana coast, probably right around the middle part of the coast, sometime Wednesday night or early Thursday, and then continuing to track northward from there up the Mississippi River Valley, and it will be spreading heavy rains along the way. You can see from the model intensity guidance that a number of the models bring this up to a hurricane within 48 hours. A couple of them even bring it up to a Category 2 hurricane. So this is something that we, of course, are going to be watching rather carefully for the Gulf states, but here in the east is really nice. It's quiet. We do have an upper trough. If you notice, there are clouds moving southeast from the Great Lakes into western New York and northwest Pennsylvania. There are some showers there on the radar. And I think if you're north of Route 84, we can't rule out the possibility of there being a scattered shower. Now, in western New York and in central New York, there could be some scattered showers and thunderstorms. There's even some severe weather risk, but the rest of the radars are pretty much nice and quiet until you get down to Florida and along the coast of southeast Louisiana. We can also see the convection from the potential tropical cyclone that is south of southeastern, southernmost Texas, bringing heavy rains to to the coast of northeastern Mexico, and eventually we're going to start to see this spread slowly northward. We don't really have any rain issues here in the Northeast, by the way, for the entire week and probably through next weekend. We have a marginal risk of severe weather today. Again, it's mostly in upstate New York, in central New York, as well as in western New York. So that means isolated severe thunderstorms are possible. Nothing much going on tomorrow as far as severe weather is concerned. And day three, which is Wednesday into Thursday, we're going to add a marginal risk for southeast Louisiana and south central Louisiana, southern Mississippi, the Alabama coast, and as well as maybe even the western part of the Florida Panhandle. And you can see the rainfall forecast showing the Northeast pretty quiet, except again for the chance for some thunderstorms today. This is all front end loaded. We are probably going to be dry right through this coming weekend. And we also have, by the way, here's a tight view of this potential tropical cyclone, and you can see all the lightning strikes that are going on. So it's just a matter of time here before this system becomes a tropical storm. It's all really about a strong ridge of high pressure that is moving into the eastern part of the United States today. So the coolest air overhead this morning will begin to abate. We'll probably see temperatures up into the low and mid 70s today and get that upper trough to sort of move on through. And then we're going to warm up the next several days as we get back above 80 tomorrow and in the 80s Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. One thing that is a positive here is that because of the strong high, particularly aloft dew points are not going to be able to rise very much. So we're going to be relatively dry and comfortable all week long, even though temperatures will be getting up there in the mid 80s. The dew points will be down in the 50s. And you can see the GFS strengthens the system to a hurricane by Tuesday, and then moving into the coast of Louisiana Tuesday night, Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, and then just sort of tracking northward. In the east, this big high just holds on, so we'll be seeing sunshine for Thursday, sunshine for Friday, some sunshine for Saturday. And then after that, another high is going to build down from eastern Canada early next week. It's going to turn the flow a little bit more onshore-ish beginning on Sunday. So that'll start to lower temperatures a bit. But you can see all the moisture, where the rains are, that's all getting pinned down in the Tennessee Valley, and then eventually even into the southeastern part of the United States from whatever is left from this tropical system. So we've got that going on. We've got quiet weather in the northeast and mid-Atlantic states. So we're kind of in the sweet spot here in eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England. Don't forget tonight's the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast at 7:35 p.m. We'll see you then.